Well, hello there, friend. Andrew Najera here at Drew Installs Hardware. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a minute, but man, I'm very excited to bring you guys today a video that's been requested since the very beginning of the channel. A little tool cart tour. Okay, this is my setup for installing commercial door hardware, and I I love this setup. I'm very fond of it because this is what I use to make money. This is what I use to provide for my family. So this setup's very important to me, and always trying to come up with ways to make it work better and more efficient and everything. But yeah, I wish I could take credit for the design. I didn't design this thing. I've worked with so many awesome men and women over the years who uh, I've stolen little things from here and there, and they all know who they are. But yeah, this is what I've come upon. I love it. It works really well for me. There's times I got to be on a different job every single day. So that being the case, and I got to use a lot of different tools every single day. So this setup really works well for me. And I'm just going to give you a tour of it, and I'm going to show you what's in each drawer, and I hope you enjoy it. But before we do that, doing gestures, before we do that, let me just take 1 minute um, to say thank you so much for all the support you've given the channel. We've recently hit a milestone in subscribers. We hit a milestone on the number of videos we've made, milestone on views. We got monetized. Yeah, and you guys keep sharing the channel. That means so much. And even there's ones out there who are sending me what they call super thanks, sending me basically it's like giving me a tip, like you tip your waiter or your waitress. It's giving me a tip for sharing these videos, making them, and maybe making your installs go smoother, go faster, or just giving you less stress, less to worry about each day because we all know we got enough to worry about. So anyway, just had to say thank you. Let's get to the outside tour of this cart. I'm coming to you live from my garage. Um, so this is a Husky that I bought at Home Depot. It's a Husky 5 drawer. It's a 5 drawer mechanics cart. And all I've really done to it is I've put a wooden top on it, plywood top. And a buddy of mine, he welded me up a base. That's an L metal base that I could just set this cart into and then attach it with some screws. And then I've got some casters welded to the bottom of that. Before I had that cool, awesome tray that he built me, I would just attach better casters to the bottom one of these and I'd try to reinforce it with some steel or whatever. This is great though because eventually these drawers kind of do wear out over time. I get about 4 or 5 years out of them, and then I can go replace it and drop a new one right in. Um, and yeah, and if I'm a little bit more careful when I use it, I can make them last even longer. But yeah, that's what I found. And there is a little weakness to these carts. Like I got this thing loaded down with weight, and I don't know if you can see here, but it's cracking there. It's cracking there because when I put this in my van, I strap it down tight so it doesn't move, and that's what ends up tweaking it. And on my last one, I actually had put some metal here that I had epoxied on. I screwed it on and had epoxied it on, and that actually helped quite a bit, kind of just reinforcing these corners. But I've stuck with this one because for me, this particular 5 drawer setup and the size of each drawer has been really phenomenal for what I do. So that's the base. What are we going to do next? Let's just go around the outside and show you what I have. So it comes with that handle here. I keep one of those nail magnets here because I drill a closer out over a finished floor, use the magnet, pick up all my shavings. You guys see me use these magnets for holding up the end of a panic bar. Um, Uh, I I'll put kick plates on with them. I use these for just a lot of different things, and so because they're magnets, I can throw them anywhere on the cart I want, and they're always right there, ready to grab. I've got a couple little hooks set up on the backside here where I can hang my 5 foot ladder. We used to use 4 foot ladders, but due to regulations and stuff, those are really, as soon as you step up on that first step, you're kind of out of compliance of where you're supposed to be. So we moved to the 5 footers. That's been good. So I hook it there. I used to have some brackets I put here where I could just stand it up high here, and standing it up high here and hooking it here upright makes you narrower. So that's actually better to have the ladder here up and down rather than where I have it currently. But I just haven't made a bracket here yet, and I've got other, I got my magnet and stuff. I can work around it, but for now it's working. And when it's tight, I do just take the ladder off and set it on top of the cart when I'm going through openings or moving around the job site. Over here, let's get down here. What do we got over here? Okay, so this is just like a hose holder from Home Depot that I've attached and holds my door wheel here. I just taped this up today because I was moving some really nice looking doors, and my carpeting here and my protections falling apart just a little bit, and I needed to be really careful. I did not want to scratch these doors at all. So I got my door wheel. I've got a dustpan. Got a dustpan and a dust brush. I got a little bag for screws. I don't. A lot of guys use bags when they're setting frames. I haven't really done that. I always, most of the time I can have my cart nearby, so I just use a little bag. And that's it for down here. I will say these casters, I love the material, but my favorite type of this caster is rounded on these edges. This is just a square edge. The rounded ones, like you'll see on sheetrock carts, are much better. I'm working with these till they fall apart, and then I'll replace them with the kind I like. So to the top of the cart here, I got this in. I've had this index. There's a little drill index here thing, or it tells you the size. I've had this thing for like probably. I mean, it's close to 20 years. It's been with me. So I mean, like I said, I get attached to these tools, and I kind of, I don't want to lose them. But yeah, so I've had this. It's been really helpful. The way I set it up is these are my most 5 common bits. I got an 1/8 inch, 5/32, 3/16, 7/32, and 1/4 inch. Those are the most common drill bits I use. Here's my most common taps. I got a 1/4-20, I got a 12/24, and I have a 10/24. Here I have a step bit that goes up to 1/2 inch, step bit that goes up to 3/4 of an inch. Here I have a step bit that goes up to 1/2 inch, but it has an extra step in between in case I need a very specific size. I've got this large countersink, and I have this center punch, automatic center punch from Harbor Freight, that works good. Currently, I have a mute installer hanging out here, as well as a lever remover. I think that's from a Sergeant or something, just because this is what some of the stuff I've been doing recently. I have a Phillips head screwdriver. I have a flat head or standard, screwdriver. I've drilled some holes here that hold some of my common Allen wrenches, just so they're easy to grab. I can get to them quickly. And I got just some carpet here. The holes that are here are going to hold the tools, and I'll show you that in a minute. You've seen it in my other videos, but I'm just going to show you how it's set up. I got a 2x4 here with some carpet on each side here. What does that do? Well, I don't know if I'll be able to show you exactly, but this comes off. And there's times when after the sheetrock's been put on, sometimes the sheetrock gets beat in and it pinches the frames. So when you go to close the door, boop, the door's hitting the frame, okay? When that happens, I'll close the door most of the way, and we can take this guy, wedge it between the frame and the door, and just give a little wiggle. And that's really all you need to do a lot of times when the frames get pinched by the drywall. And hopefully you're swinging those doors maybe before they've caulked them and painted them. Of course, wow. Once they've caulked them and painted them, now you don't want to mess up their work, but it is what it is. We need 36 inches for a 3.0 door, right? Okay, let's keep going. I don't want to make this video too long. So I've got a little piece of 1x stuck here, screwed here so that I always have it. That has to do with working with a continuous hinge, and I don't want to tell you how to use that at this moment, but at some point I will tell you how I use that. And so I just got some screws installed here, and I put some holes here so that that thing just goes right back on. And the double purpose of that also is just a backstop. So from when I'm working here, and I've just got, you'll see sometimes I just got all my tools out, all my hand tools, and I've got boxes of hardware. It just keeps stuff from falling off the other edge. I think that's pretty much it for the outside tour. We'll jump right into my power tool drawer. And here we go, okay? This is the bottom drawer, power tools, okay? So most of the projects, once they get their power turned on, you need one of these GFCIs to be able to plug into the building's power. I like to have that with me. I've got the cool Makita double charger. I need that just for the amount of tools I'm using. The double charger's well worth it. This is just, I use a headlamp on my hard hat. This is just like kind of my backup. If all else fails, I have a little light with me. So that's great. And that doesn't come out of the drawer too often because I'm always charging up my headlamp. Make sure I got it. Bottle jack. This is something I really don't need to be keeping on my cart. Should just keep this in my van. But a bottle jack is a great tool to have. And one of these days, I'll show you a video how I use this to fix a door that's out of level. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep rolling. I roll with 2 impacts, one that's set up with a number 3 tip. And I like my number 3 tip with a longer tip holder, just because when you're swinging a door and you're working inside the getting your screw gun up into the hinge pockets, it just moves this away from the door where you won't damage it or scratch it up or whatever. Gives you more room to work. So that's my number 3 impact. Like I said, 2 impacts. This is my number 2 tip impact. And then where's my drill? Oh, it's hiding below the blower. Here's the blower. Okay. Now, a funny story about this blower. I love this tool. It works a lot of different ways, but when I'm setting frames, I can just blow out the rough opening real quick to make sure there's no sawdust, nails, whatever. I dropped this guy. I dropped it only one time after I kind of first got it, and the handle here broke. Everything was good except that the plastic broke. So I had some epoxy out because I was putting some of those big, thick, black door stops for exterior doors in. So I just put a little epoxy here, taped it. Dude, it's worked fine ever since. Saved me money from having to try to replace it. So yeah, okay. And you'll see what my holes here on the top of the cart are for. So I got number 2, number 3. My blower goes there. What else we got? So I got the roto hammer. I love this Makita roto hammer because this one accepts the vacuum attachment that goes on. Great for when you're drilling inside the building. That one goes there in that hole. And then, of course, I got the awesome Makita die grinder for dialing in strikes. Very useful tool. That one goes there. So those are the tool. If I was just going to a job and had a lot to do, I'd just pull all those out immediately, set them right there, ready to go. Um, Here's some other tools that I will keep in the drawer that I don't use as often, but use them a lot. Here's the angle grinder. And of course, we got the jigsaw, Makita jigsaw. This works great. All this cordless, keeps me moving, performs great. I use mostly the 5 amp batteries. The 5 amp batteries are awesome. Here's the multi-tool. Okay. Multi-tool comes in handy for cutting in strikes. Yeah, and last but not least, of course, we need a drill to drill some holes. So I've used, this is late at night, 3-day weekend. We got a 4-day weekend coming up. I'm not sure on all the words, but I've used big drills and I've used little drills. This I call the little drill. The advantage of the little drill is it's lighter and also it fits in tighter spots. So I've used them both. I like them both. I like to have a big one and a small one when I can. Wow, okay. But yes, so this is great. Works good. And then I guess, of course, I got a bunch of batteries. Yeah, that covers the like 95% of what I'm going to do on a door opening. I got right there. So, like I said, these aren't ones I have spots for on top, but I have them with me. And oh yeah, also the double charger. You can throw that in there too. And I'll tell you, be honest, I don't always pack my drawer tight and perfectly to where everything fits in there. Sometimes the blower stays in the van. Sometimes the charger stays in the van. If I'm depending on what I'm doing, but it all can fit in there, and that's one reason I do love this cart. This is my hand tool drawer. I don't want to use all your time up to show you every single tool I got in here, but I promise I'll do another video showing you every single hand tool I keep with me. Hammer, dead blow, single jack, cold chisel, lineman's pliers. I mean, it's basic, but this is the second largest drawer, and that's why it works so good to have all my hand tools right here. This is my screw drawer. And I meant to say, guys, I don't open my drawers for just anybody. Come on now. All right. Come on. All right. Anyway, this is my screw drawer. Also, you could call it a consumable drawer. I've got self-drilling screws for kick plates, short, long. This is my panic box where I put extra panic screws so I have a place to pull when I'm missing a screw. This is my closer container, extra closer screws when I need to pull a screw for a closer. I got shims. I got sheetrock screws here mixed with some cores. Here I've got 2-inch modified truss head self drilling screws. Maybe if I'm going through exterior nail flanges into Den's glass, through the Den's glass into metal stud framing, I got that. Here I use some of these big bad boys to fix frames occasionally. Can make you a video on that at some point. Got some, usually use those for wall stops. We got silver bullets. We got butt screws. I got these threshold screws with green weenies. Miscellaneous cylinder stuff here. Yeah, and then I usually have drive pins here. It looks like I'm out of drive pins. Over here, I'll keep grinding wheels. And yeah, see, like these, you really want to save these and make sure you use them up all the way, guys. Okay. Okay. Sorry, just kidding. And then I don't always need my hole saw set, but man, all my hole saws fit right here. And so if I do need them, saves me a trip to the van. Don't have to go out. Love it. Let me skip the second drawer just because that's horrible. Here is all my drill bits. 1/4-inch drill bits, 7/32 with 1224 taps. I got 3/16 drill bits here with the 12 24 taps. Then I got the 5/32 with the 1032 taps. I got the 1/8 inch here. Then I got a smaller container here that has my smaller taps, 8/32s, 6/32s. And then I also have some smaller than 1/8 inch drill bits here in this container. And also I bought some of these because at a certain point, usually my chucks on my drills get to a point where they don't hold the 1/8 inch bit. So if I have some of these, I know it'll hold it. Just in case. What else? We covered that. I got drivers back here and sockets. Number 2 tips, number 3 tips, number 1 tips with some cores I'll use to make myself a lockup to lock up my tools. Miscellaneous tips here. The back, I got the flex shaft super glue. What do I use super glue for? I can't think of it at the moment, but anyway, I got multi-tool bits here, spade bits, Vicks bits of different sizes. I got I got like 6-inch length rotohammer bits here. I got hole saw bits here for when I'm installing exterior hollow metal frames that have transoms that also require door position switches or door contacts. Poke a hole there to get the wire through. I got erasers. Yes, I am a guy who tries to erase my marks if I leave them. This is a bunch of tile bits. They all fit right there. These are longer bits. You'll see this. This is the thing I use to drive pins in between the wall and the frame. And hey, I keep my file there too. You guys see me use that before. Drill block. Okay. That's a quick overview of that one. This is the drawer that is a mess at the moment, but I know everything that's in here. I know what's in here, and also probably save that for another day. But yeah, here I got hinge pinchers. I keep templates in here. This is a very important drawer to the whole process, but it's quite a mess. So, oh, I love this too. Inspector gave this to me on a job one time. It's a little gauge for underneath the door. I can just get down, push it under the door, and whatever number I see is what the gap is. So I really love this. Very handy to have. Anyway, that's the tool cart. You guys have asked for it from the beginning. I appreciate the support so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me this long. As you can tell, we went through it quick, and there's a lot more to talk about with the hand tools, maybe with my second drawer there and those miscellaneous things, templates and electrical stuff for when there's electrified hardware. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this video. And until we get a chance to get together again, happy hardwaring.